Stop believing this reading myth. Brain science says it is wrong. Today is not about motivation, it's not about reading challenges. Yes, we're talking about reading today, but we're not talking about reading challenges or motivation. Today we're correcting a misunderstanding. So it's not about reading harder, we're correcting a misunderstanding that has quickly exhausted many intelligent people quietly. It has exhausted many busy professionals quietly. Because you know what? A myth repeated long enough starts to sound like the truth. So we're going to be bursting that myth today so that you can read better and understand how brain science works so that you can read better. Now, before we go further, notice something important. Nothing is wrong with your desire to grow. What's been wrong is the explanation you were given. And that is what we're bursting today. The myth that sounds responsible. You know, you've heard this myth before. If reading feels hard, you just need more discipline. That is not true. That is not true. If reading feels hard, then there's a reason it's feeling hard. It has nothing to do with discipline. No, not at all. You're welcome to the Smart Short Break series today, and I am Leslie Grace, the confidence coach. I help you master confidence smartness through smart reading, smart thinking, and of course, smart speaking. Today, we're having an amazing conversation on the myth that you should stop believing so that you can actually set reading goals and achieve them. You're welcome to the session today. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. You will love it being here today. Share this live with that professional that needs to hear this truth, that needs to come away from that lie that's been keeping them stuck with their reading goals and read better in 2026. Share this live with someone that should be here. Let's have the screen feels hard. Then it is that you need feels hard. Then it is that you need to be more disciplined. These are the kind of words that we heard growing up around reading, and it affected us. Now, this may sound reasonable. If reading feels hard, you lack discipline. You need to be more disciplined. You need to work more on your discipline. Get yourself more disciplined. That's why reading feels hard. Now, this may sound reasonable. This may even sound mature, or it may sound somewhat like a personal responsibility kind of thing. Hello, hi, let me know in the comment section where you're joining me from. And you know, all of those kind of things. But the truth is that your brain does not respond to responsibility. Write it down. It may sound responsible. Hey, Vicky, yeah, it's so good to have you here. Let me know in the comment section where you're joining in from. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, share this live with somebody that should be here. I'm going to be bursting a myth that nobody has ever spoken about. It is the myth that if reading feels hard, you need to read, you need to be more disciplined. You need to be more disciplined if reading feels hard. That is a big, fat myth. Right? Don't be here alone. Hey, Vic Holmes, all the way from the United States of America. So good to have you here. Hey, you're light. I hope I pronounced it well. From Malawi, good to have you here. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, share with that professional like you, that busy colleague of yours that also thinks that, oh, my reading is hard because I need to get more discipline. That is a lie. It is a lie. And I'll explain it to you. I'll be bursting that myth with pure brain science. If you're just meeting me, hello, I'm Leslie Grace, the confidence coach. I help you master confidence smartness through smart reading, smart thinking, smart speaking. And yes, we have the Smart Short Break series like this, Mondays to Fridays at 1 p.m. West African time, where we come to share with you everything about confidence smartness, that goal that you want to achieve with confidence smartness through smart reading, smart thinking, smart speaking. Again, you're welcome to this session today. Let's go. Now, I said, your brain does not respond to responsibility. Write it down. And it's the exact reason why you cannot say that if reading is hard, just be more disciplined. Your brain does not respond to responsibility. Your brain responds to conditions. Your brain responds to conditions. And when conditions are wrong, discipline becomes pressure. Life is cause and effect. That's what I mean. Simply put, life is cause and effect. Your brain wants to know why. What are the conditions? Now, we're going to be doing a lot of brain science today. What I need you to do is just sit put. Just sacrifice this. We're not going to be here more than 30 minutes today. Just sacrifice this time and understand how your brain works. If you understand how your brain works, achieving reading goals will be a stroll in any park. Let's go. Are you ready? And don't be here alone. Don't keep this kind of good stuff with you alone. Share with somebody that should be here with you, right? Let's go. Your brain responds to conditions. And I said, when conditions are wrong, discipline becomes pressure. Discipline becomes pressure. Now, if you've ever doubled down on effort and you felt more resistance instead of relief, then that reaction was not accidental. Let me explain what that means. So they say, put in more discipline, read, and then you now say, ha, I'll read more this year. In fact, you set an alarm, 5 a.m. alarm, wake up to read alarm, 5 a.m. And then you have doubled down on your effort, you're putting in so much work, yet you open books and you still feel more resistance instead of relief. Then that reaction is not accidental. That resistance that keeps happening is not accidental. Hey, Mr. Chris, so good to have you here. It is not accidental. There's a brain science going on there. There's something your brain is speaking to you and you need to understand it. Yes, exactly. When conditions are wrong, discipline becomes pressure. Now, how does your brain approach reading? I have explained that every time you see resistance, it is not accidental. Because, you've doubled an effort. You have increased your discipline. Like they said, get more discipline. You achieve your reading goals. You've done all of that. Yet, books are still resisting you. Every time you pick up a book, you just look at it and say, another 100 pages to read. I'm not doing this. Every time you see that resistance, in spite of how much effort you're putting, it is not accidental. It is not accidental. Now, let me explain to you what happens in your brain. Your brain has two major priorities. Only two. I need you to write it down. Your brain has only two major priorities. Guess what these priorities are? Survival and learning. Survival and learning. That is why if you relocate now, the first thing your brain is thinking is survival. Not even learning. I needed that to sit in. The moment you relocate now, the moment you get into a new environment, the next thing your brain is thinking is, how do we survive this new environment? That is how your brain is curated. Learning only happens when survival feels settled. Let me explain. Let's say there's a fire outbreak somewhere. Do you know that even though that fire is coming from a place where you didn't expect, you didn't light a matchstick, there's nothing that is open, but suddenly you just see fire gushing out. Okay, let me use a typical example. What happened with the, hey, hi Chocolate, so good to have you here. Hey, Book Beaters, I see you all, so good to have you all here. Now, let me know in the comment section, where are you joining me from? I know that Vicoms is joining us from the USA. Yolite is joining us from Malawi. Let me know in the comment section, where are you joining me from? So I was explaining, today is some neuroscience class kind of day, and I'm giving all of this value for free. Thank me later. All you should do is subscribe to this channel if you haven't. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, share it with somebody that should be here. Hey, Baba Lola is here. Yeah, so good to have you here. Baba Lola Bamidele, thank you for joining me today. Now, I was saying that, okay, let me use a typical example. Look at the water that came out of the rock in the Bible. They hadn't seen that before. But do you know that the first thing they did when water came out of the rock was to go and drink the water? That's the first thing they did. Hey, Doyin is here. Hey, hi. It's fine, Doyin. It's so good to have you here. I'm sure it's your work time now. Okay, so the first thing they did was to go and have water. Nobody was thinking of what lessons can we learn? Can water come off of the rock? And da-da-da-da. Nobody was thinking about that. Can you imagine? 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish turned to baskets of meal. And everybody's eating and having extra. How you not asking what happened? Your brain thinks survival first. Your brain thinks survival first. That's what your brain is thinking. The prophet is coming to the widow and he's saying, make for me first. And the widow goes, listen, we're just going to have this meal and survive for the next few hours we have. I don't want to know any lesson you have to teach me right now. I'm not interested. Right? The prophet had to explain in the language of survival. He didn't even tell her, you're about to learn how you're going to be the highest supplier of one product in the next how many minutes. That wasn't the message. He told her, you see this thing you want to do now, it will increase your survival for you and your children, your entire family, you, your child, your generation. You'll be able to clear all your debts and have money. Survival. So that's how your brain works. Learning only happens when survival feels settled. Now, the lesson the woman now learned, and the lesson that now happened later about how Thanksgiving can can multiply, and all of that came after survival felt settled. I'm just using this to explain what I mean. But your brain does survival and learning. However, it's survival first. Neuroscience is clear on this. When your brain senses pressure, whether the pressure is self-imposed, it immediately activates the amygdala. And when the amygdala activates, your prefrontal cortex reduces activity. Now that matters because your prefrontal cortex is where focus happens. It's where comprehension happens. It's where decision making happens. It's where attention is being sustained. Now, you cannot achieve this if the amygdala is already triggered. The amygdala is already activated. So the way it happens is the prefrontal cortex is learning. The amygdala is survival. Do you see? Both of them cannot work at the same time. That's what you are doing. When you have not asked yourself, why do I keep getting resisted by books? Why is it that the amygdala is always activated every time I pick up a book? Why is the fear hormone? Why is that activated every time? Why is pressure? Why am I feeling this way? You are trying to make your brain survive and learn at the same time. It can't happen. Under pressure, your brain becomes lazy. Your brain becomes protective under pressure. Learning cannot happen. Is exactly why you're struggling with your books. So me telling you, of course I don't say that. Motivational speakers telling you that what you need is more discipline. What you need is more discipline. It's the wrong message. It's a myth. It's not true. Listen, if you've ever felt tired after a few pages, then this life is for you. Stay here. I want to show you something. Cognitive psychology has shown that stress reduces working memory capacity. Now, working memory is the space that the brain uses. That's the space where ideas are being held before you now begin to connect them and all of that. Now, when that space begins to shrink, reading feels slow. Then retention begins to drop. Fatigue begins to set in. This is exactly the reason you keep struggling with your books. It's exactly the reason busy professionals are struggling. They can excel at work, they can solve complex problems, but they struggle to read consistently. Why? Why? I mean, you have a calendar full. If they ask you what are you doing by March, you can tell us. Oh, okay. Stress brings out the best in you. Okay, good. But the question I'm asking is, or what we're talking about, it's not a question anyway, I know it. What we're saying is that stress shuts down the part of the brain that can settle down to read, because survival and learning cannot happen at the same time. Okay? So it's not about what is missing. It's about you understanding that your brain has to be in a settled space for you to be able to learn. Your brain has to be in a settled space for you to be able to learn. It's not about ability alone. It's about conditions. Like I said, your brain works with conditions. Your brain works with conditions. Your brain works with conditions. Let me explain further. So, one thing you need to understand is that your reading experience is a message. It's telling you about how your body, your brain reacts to reading. Now, discipline is not the villain, but it's not also the hero as well. Discipline is useful, but you see, discipline is a secondary tool when it comes to reading. Discipline comes second. It is not the first thing. Discipline works best when your brain already feels safe. All of us get disciplined every day. You took a risk to sit down, discipline yourself for 3 hours to get your hair made. But do you know why you could sit down and settle for that? Because you feel safe around that person. Yeah. You discipline yourself every month. You are putting a certain amount of money in a particular investment every month. Do you know why you're disciplining yourself to do that? The basic reason is because of safety. Something in you is telling you that this is safe. Just keep doing this. It's safe to do it. Every month you work so hard for money, yet you don't feel cajoled to pay your tithe, for instance, if you're a Christian, okay? Because you feel safe, that this is a safe thing for me to do. It is something I need to do because of my future, because of my belief. Anyway, I don't want to get into that. But what I'm saying is that discipline is easy. Discipline is not the villain. It's not a problem. It's also not the hero. It comes second. Every time you see yourself disciplined in doing anything, it's because you feel safe. You have disciplined yourself for the past how many months to shut down on what you eat and to cut down on certain meals, lose some weight, because you feel safer. You know that when you become a size 8 or 10, you are safer. Your health is safe. Your mind is safe. Your strength is safe. So I hope that is clear enough. So the thing with discipline is that it's not the first thing. And if it's applied too early, it begins to feel like force. It begins to feel like force. I should feel safe first, then I can now discipline myself to do it. Force triggers resistance. Imagine that you do not tell me the advantages I will get if I'm not too big. You're just forcing me, shut down, lose weight, lose weight. Exactly. Thank you, Choco. You're just telling me, for instance, just telling me lose weight, lose weight. How are you doing that? But you know that most women discipline themselves to carry a baby in their womb for 9 months. Do you know the discipline it takes? There are lots of things that woman can no longer do in that 9 months. Why? She feels safe. That this is the kind of thing my child needs. This is what this phase of my life requires now. So the discipline is there, but it is secondary. That's my point. It is secondary. It is secondary. So you can't say, achieve your reading goals, let us get discipline. No, we've not handled safety first. Learning cannot happen until they survive. Learning cannot happen in survival mode. Learning comes after there is safety. Learning comes after there is safety. Force will always trigger resistance. You don't unlock understanding by tightening control. Write it down. You don't unlock understanding by tightening control. No. You unlock understanding by enforcing safety, by ensuring that there is safety. You unlock understanding by taking away the threat. Remove everything that's threatening you about reading. Take it away. Take it away. The past experiences of you being forced to read, take the threat away. Because the truth is, regulation precedes repetition. You get regulated first before you can now repeat. Think about it. The things you repeat effortlessly are things that you regulated the conditions. And like I said, your brain doesn't work with just commandments. Your brain works with conditions. So, regulate your brain. Give it safety. Then repetition can now come. I hope you know that repetition is discipline. It takes a lot of discipline to repeat something every day. But the reason I can read a book a week all year round is because I'm safe around books. It's regulated. Ease precedes endurance. Write it down. It's ease. So when something feels easy, that's ease. Ease precedes endurance. Ease precedes endurance. A simple ease around your books will make you feel safe to endure. So all of the past traumatic experiences you've had around reading, you need to heal from them. All that force, tension, pressure is still making you feel threatened when you pick up a book. So they can't be telling you that you get more discipline. Get more discipline how? You don't feel easy around books, so you can't endure. You know, it was Jesus who said, because of the crown that is set before me, I endured. I endured. So, and the endurance he's facing is because there's an ease placed before him. So we are the ones seeing endurance. We are the ones seeing that he's struggling. He's not seeing that. He's at a place of ease. Even though it's hard. He even said, can this called Passover? When he saw that he couldn't pass over, he said, okay, we just go through it. Why? Because of the crown faced before him. So it is a journey. The healing from reading trauma is a journey towards getting you from a place where reading becomes a crown set before you. You know, one of the guides says a 5-in-1 bundle that is going to be free and accessible to everybody who joins the Healing from Reading Trauma course. Oh, by the way, you shouldn't be outside that course. The people you know struggling with reading, don't go and learn speed reading. Don't even try it. This is the foundation of what we do at the Smart Speakers Academy, especially in the Book Bingers with our Inner Circle program. Because truth be told, it is safety first before speed. Safety first before speed. Safety first before speed. Safety first before speed. Do you know, this is the exact reason people who struggled with food, for instance, people who were, poverty growing up, maybe you were forced to eat some kind of meals because there was no money, you struggled. Do you know that when they see money, the first thing they do is to overeat? So they begin to struggle with obesity. They begin to, and even when you're telling them cut down, that's what the person wants to advise to lose weight. He won't even listen to you. He'll be like, do you know what I suffered with food? Now that there's food, we're going to eat. All right, but you see people who feel safe around food, they've come to know that, okay, this is safety for me. They quickly get away from eating too much. They quickly lose weight. They quickly shed the excess weight when necessary. Okay, now I love the way the scripture puts it in 2 Timothy 1 verse 7, and I'm going to be explaining that scripture. Explains this whole science I'm talking about when I say that get more discipline cannot get you to read more books. No, you need to get safety around books first before you talk about speed, before you talk about discipline, before you talk about endurance. That is 2 Timothy 1 verse 7. God has not given us the spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. A sound mind is not tense. Aha. If you find yourself reading out of fear, failure, or force, a sound mind is not there. So there are two kinds of minds. The mind that is afraid, fearful, and then the other mind that is sound. Did you notice that it is the mind that is sound that has power and love? Yeah. It is the mind that is sound that has power and love. Power to sit and say 7:30 to 8 a.m. daily is my reading time. Once I'm done, I hit the road, I go to work. Love for books that I choose book binging over social media binging is only possible with a sound mind. So there are two kinds of mind. In the place where we have sound mind, there's power, there's love. In this one that there's fear, there's no power, there's no love. And that's not what God has given you. A sound mind is not tensed. A sound mind is not braced. A sound mind is not hurried. A sound mind is settled. A sound mind is settled. A sound mind is safe. It is in the place of safety. It is in the safety of the sound mind that the power for speed reading is possible. It is in the safety of the mind that the power for speed reading is possible. That the love to read from January 1st to 31st December every year is possible only with a sound mind. The Healing from Reading Trauma course is that course that will give you the sound mind. Safety. Once sound mind comes, power and love is automatic. It's automatic. It's like you get a new phone. Charger and battery, they come with it now. They come with a new phone. You don't buy a new phone and then go and look for charger and then go and look for battery. That's it. You get a sound mind. That's the Healing from Reading Trauma course. A brain and a busy professional who is healed from reading trauma gets the sound mind. Gets the sound mind. Gets the sound mind. Details for taking the Healing from Reading Trauma course is on the screen, as you can see. I'll be pinning it once the details and all are there. Now, the truth is that, oh, hey, Danny, Susan, so good to have you here. Did you hit the subscribe button? Hit the like button. I am so glad to be here as well. Yes, we are here. We are back Mondays to Fridays, 1 p.m. West African time. You keep seeing us and you just have to be here. Now, the truth is that 2 Timothy 1 verse 7, another translation puts it in a way that I love to share as well. Self-control. It talks about self-control. Now, self-control does not mean self-pressure. So again, that's why I say that get more discipline, be able to achieve more books is not where we're going to. It's not where we're going to. All right? So, self-control, sorry about that, says I'm not self-pressure. Self-control simply means inner order, not anxiety. Inside of me, I'm orderly. I can control my time. I can control myself. But you can't do this if you are tense, if the fear is there. So reading trauma is three things: fear, force, failure. If you were ever forced to read, reading trauma is happening to you. If you are afraid to read, that's reading trauma. If you failed at reading in time past, you're struggling with reading trauma. Now, these three cause fear, borderline, they cause fear. And when there is fear, sound mind walks away. So it's either your mind is in a place of fear or your mind is in a place of sound mind. All right? Now, the truth is that stillness is the gateway to wisdom. If there's no stillness, wisdom is not guaranteed. Stillness is the gateway to wisdom. Okay, can I be seen and heard now? Is it better now? I think I had a little bit of network glitch along the way. Is it better now? Can I be seen and heard? I had a little bit of network glitch around there. Is it better now? Okay, so I was saying that stillness. Is it better now? Stillness is the gateway to wisdom. Stillness. Okay, you can hear me. Oh, thank you. That means it's around this area. Stillness is the gateway to wisdom. Now, if what I've said resonates with you, then I want you to say to yourself, there's a way out. There's a way out. Oh, thank you. You can see and hear me. There's a way out. Reading does not improve because you push harder. Dear busy professional, it doesn't. It doesn't. Oh, thank you. You can see and hear me. Thank you. Reading only improves when your brain stops guarding itself. When your brain stops resisting itself. When safety returns, attention stabilizes. When safety returns, comprehension deepens. You begin to understand swiftly. When safety returns, reading time stretches naturally. So don't miss the healing from reading trauma course. When safety returns, your reading time will just increase naturally. You would be reading for 1 hour, you won't even realize. You will leave a movie for a book, you won't even realize. Why? It is now safe. Reading now signals pleasure. One of the guides you don't want to miss is the pleasure reading planner. There is don't miss the healing for reading trauma because it's a 5-in-1 bundle. Inside the bundle you get the from half read to have read. Yes, it's a roadmap from half read to have read. So all of those are half read books, they'll become books that you have now read. Yes, I have the names right. I love it. Okay, there are 5-in-1 in them, and you will love being in that place. See, it improves your reading when you are now safe around books. When you are now safe. Yes, reading only improves when your brain stops guarding itself. Attention begins to stabilize, comprehension begins to deepen, reading time begins to just stretch naturally. And this doesn't happen, from half read to half read. Mr. Chris, that one hit you somewhere. If it hit you somewhere, come and take the healing from reading trauma course. As of now, that course is just simply put 99999, and it will be taken in a way that you can always have access to it. It doesn't clash with any other of our courses. It's going to be in the evenings. It's going to be for 3 days for that price. I'm too kind. Let me say like my children, I'm far too kind. Now, the truth is that it's until when safety returns that you cannot get attention, you cannot get comprehension, you cannot increase your reading time. Not you increasing it just increase. It's like when you are around your bestie, that your friend that you are safe around. You just be talking and talking and talking. 2 hours is gone. Maybe your friends or your PA or your husband has to remind you it's time for the next task or the next thing on your schedule. But imagine that you are in a taxi and you're being driven by people that you don't know. You don't feel safe around them. You won't say a word. You just be like, hey, let me just come down from this vehicle already. But imagine that you're in a taxi with your guys, your besties. You just be talking, right? This is because it's not effort. You feel permitted to have that conversation because you feel safe. This is why forcing habits often fails. Even amongst the most intelligent, the smartest of busy professionals, forcing habits always fails. Your brain cannot be bullied into curiosity. Write it down. My brain cannot be bullied into curiosity. Improving your curiosity quotient is a big deal for busy professionals. We all want to increase our curiosity quotient. That's why we're taking courses. That's why we're going for webinars, seminars, here and there, paying money. This year now, we have a budget of courses we must take this year, right? Me, I don't even look at price of course. Once that course benefits me, I don't care how much it costs, I'll pay for it. Because all of us are in a space we want to increase our curiosity quotient. However, that curiosity you're looking for, your brain cannot be bullied into it. Curiosity emerges when vigilance walks out of the room. No vigilance. Tension. You're not safe. Curiosity only comes easily when vigilance has gone out. What this means to you, yes, like I said in the comment section, thank you. My brain cannot be bullied into curiosity. Stop bullying your brain. And stop bullying your children's brain as well. What this means for you is, that's why parents, adults, people who have younger children around their space, please heal. Heal from reading trauma. So that you don't get to become a reading trauma to your child. And your child does not have to come for this course. How many years from now? Don't do that. What this means for you is that your reading struggle is not a discipline failure. Please, I hope that with what you've heard today, you have come to realize that, hey, my reading struggle is not a discipline failure. No. It's not a consistency issue as well. It's not a character flaw. No. It is a nervous system response. And nervous system responses are trainable. That's the good news. You can't leave your nervous system like that. If you leave it like that, it will fall to default. Interestingly, your nervous system is conditioned. Is experience conditioned. Every past experience you had with reading is what conditioned your nervous system's reaction to reading now. So if you want it to now become that nervous system that will love books, don't bully it. Curate conditions for it. Curate experiences for it that can guard it peacefully into loving books again. Because the good news is that nervous system responses are trainable, whether by default or by intentions. If you don't intentionally curate it, then whatever has happened with your past will just put it into a default mode of resisting books. What your brain learned under pressure, it can actually unlearn it under safety in the Healing from Reading Trauma course. This course is the foundation of everything that you need to be able to read and finish books this year. Understand the books, curate from the books. You don't need speed first. No. Don't wait for a speed reading master class and you come and register for it. Start from here. Heal first. You don't need speed first. You don't need volume first. I remember someone writing to me yesterday and saying, I am afraid of voluminous books. And I said to the person, you need to heal from reading trauma. And I said, were you forced to read voluminous books as a child? Were you in a space where curiosity wasn't bullied into you? And she said, no. I said, okay, here you go. She didn't want to. She said, yes, I need the course. I'm not okay. You see, the Healing from Reading Trauma course is the course that will restore safety for you, reduce internal pressure for you, rebuild trust between you and your text. That fight happening between you and your text is because lack of trust. You can actually build that trust. Again, reading doesn't need motivation. Reading invites itself back naturally when you have healed from reading trauma. So if you're listening to this closely, this work was designed with you in mind. The work of putting in the healing from reading trauma course was designed with you. You were the person we're thinking about when created that course. If reading has ever felt heavy for you, it is not because you lack discipline. It's simply because your brain has been trying to protect you, and the only way it knows how to is to keep you away from books. And you're bothered because you know that you need to get close to books to become. But the truth is that protection is not permanent, okay? When the conditions change, like I said, your brain responds to conditions, not bullying, not force, not pressure. Your brain responds to conditions. So the healing from reading trauma course will change the conditions with which you read, in which you read. And once conditions change, response changes as well. Reading stops feeling like an effort and it becomes just something you do by pleasure. All right? Reading stops feeling like an effort. That's what the healing from reading trauma course will do for you. And once again, reading now becomes a place, or books now become a place where the mind can rest and expand at the same time. That is what we'll do for you with the healing from reading trauma course. I hope that with this session today, I've been able to burst that myth that if you need to finish books, then you need to read, you need to be more disciplined. Now that's a myth. That's a myth. And thank you so much for joining me today. Have you hit the like button on this video? Have you subscribed to this channel? Kindly do if you haven't. It's been amazing sharing with you on this conversation on stop believing that myth. We'll be here again tomorrow at 1 p.m. West African time to share with you an amazing conversation on everything you need to understand about how you can start, set reading goals, start them, and finish them. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you have that professional, that friend, colleague, family member who's been struggling with their reading and who thinks that it's just about more discipline, share this live with them. I mean, I'm sure you've gotten some value for your time, data, and energy. Share this live with them. Let them sit on this conversation and see the way forward. It's not just about more discipline. Thank you so much for joining me today. Put in the comment section if you have any questions. I'd love to respond. How did this go for you? I hope this was worth the time. I know it was. Thank you for joining me today. I'll see you tomorrow at 1 p.m. This is the Smart World.